return, and I'm almost finished here. I'm going to now return to prefigurative politics. ACT-UP, I don't think, was self-consciously engaged in prefigurative politics. I don't even think the word was around. You know, like we didn't. But I mean, as you've said, you know, historically it has a long history. But I don't think we were doing that. Although we were certainly engaged in trying to create a different sort of world, I don't think that we were necessarily thinking about bringing that world into being in the movement itself. Okay. Would a more self-consciously prefigurative orientation have better equipped us for navigating our internal conflicts? That's one question I have, and that's really a question that I have for the other panelists and for people in the audience who I think have much more experience than I do with prefigurative politics, so I'm very curious about that. And here's my second question. Does the fact that human behavior is driven by more than human reason pose a challenge to prefigurative politics? And if so, in what sense? And if not, why not? It seems to me that one premise of prefigurative politics is that human beings can use reason to alter our habitual or our habituated behavior, and indeed to conquer those parts of ourselves that we sometimes understand as improper or base or immoral, our egoism, our aggressiveness, our greed, and you know, whether you view those as natural or social, I'm sure most of us view them as social, but I think there's a belief that reason can conquer those qualities, and I think that's true to some extent. But we aren't always able to be level-headed and fair-minded and open and compassionate, even toward our comrades, with whom we've experienced immense solidarity. Okay? Drawing from the case of ACT-UP, when you feel betrayed or unrecognized or dissed in some kind of way, it can be really difficult to approach one another, not to mention engage in world-making projects together. And all of that can be even more difficult when those kinds of feelings are submerged, unacknowledged, they're opaque, amorphous, often barely articulable, in part because they're so painful to feel. Now, it's not that our feeling states make us unable to reason, but if in acknowledging that humans are affective beings, we also have to acknowledge that not everything can be addressed through reason, then I think it's well worth our while to consider how then to proceed in a prefigurative political project, to prefigure a better world. Thanks.